Okay, I am back here doing some more testing on the Qbert PCBs I've got. So next test, now that we've tested that the board, the PCB, the main PCB works and the sound amplifier works off an iPod, I'm going to plug in the Qbert soundboard to a connector I've made here. So what I've actually done is I've utilised pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11 and 12, and I've not used pin 7, which is the audio output to the amp, and also I'm not using pin 10, which is a plus 30 volts going to the amp on the Qbert board. So instead, what I've done here, and I've got the board here. I'll look on the back. Well, under that heatsink there is chip U23, and the audio I can connect directly to pin 9, and I should be able to wire that directly into my amplifier, power the board up, and hopefully hear some sound from the amp if the board's working. The only issue I've got with one of the pins is pin 3. That's actually using minus 12 volts, and I'm only using a jammer switcher here, so I've only got minus 5. So I'm going to try minus 5 to see if I can power it up. I think it should work, but we'll find out in a minute. So I'm just going to hook this up to the connector on that end there, and also connect my output from the board into the input on the amplifier. Okay, so I've connected the soundboard, the edge connector is now connected, and I've hooked up pin 9 of U23 into the input on my sound amplifier, so I'm ready to switch on. What I'm hoping should happen is when I power it up, I should hear Qbert say something, which means basically the soundboard is initialized and working. If not, then I don't know. Let's find out. Let's power it up. Okay, so that's not good. Let's turn that down a bit. Just turn that down a bit. So game's running fine there, looks okay. But unfortunately, something's going wrong there with the soundboard. So I don't know if I've wired it incorrectly. I'm going to power off, and I'm just going to basically see whether I've wired everything up okay. So I'll be back in a minute. I've double checked all my wiring. Looks absolutely fine. So what I've decided to do, I got this other soundboard a few weeks ago, a spare one, and what I'm going to do is I've connected another wire to the U23 pin 9, but I also noticed quite a few issues on this board. There was a lot of dry solder joints, and also there was a blown capacitor. So I've just replaced the capacitor now, and also I've reflowed the board. So I'm going to give this board a go and just see if I get exactly the same problem with this board. If I get the same problem, I would assume then that there is something wrong with my wiring, although I have checked it and I can't find anything wrong whatsoever. It all seems to be absolutely wired up spot on. So let's just hook this up to the edge connector and up to the amplifier and give it a go. Okay, so that's all sorted. So edge connector connected, and also the output from the soundboard again into the input of the amplifier. So what I'm interested to find out here now is actually whether I get exactly the same problem as I did with the first board I tried. Let's power this on. Ah, that sounds better. That sounds better. Qbert is actually talking. Okay, and I'm hearing noises from the game as well. Let's just see if we can start a game. I just put some credits on. Okay, so the credit noise is working as well. Credits are showing on screen. 3, yeah, good stuff. Let's start the game. Okay, looks good. So it seems like that first soundboard has a fault somewhere. But this one definitely seems to be working okay. And the amp's doing its job, doing exactly as I expected. So so it means that there wasn't a problem with my wiring, it was all fine. Seems spot on. So I've put the boards back in the cab now, so main PCBs are back in with its edge connector connected, and also the working soundboard I've put back in with its connector as well. The only thing I need to do on this section here now is I'm going to, for the time being, leave the filter board in, the line filter board in. I have actually fixed the dodgy wiring at the end here on the 2 connectors because it had been badly burnt, but I do want to bypass this at some point. So what I'm going to do is, when I get the right tool, I'm just going to reconnect all these loose wires here properly so they're on the board, and also do the same with this burnt connector here. But once I'm satisfied that the actual game is working, I probably will remove that remove that filter board completely. And then the last thing I'll need to do is just check the power on this this power board to make sure that everything that's coming out of it is spot on, and then hopefully we should have a working game if the monitor's okay.